So along with completing this quarterly report for your organization, which ties together your budget that was originally proposed to the board and approved, each month you're also required to complete a quarterly invoice, which is the document that the aging division uses in order to process a payment for your organization. These two documents combined will complete the reporting for that specific quarter of project progress. Real quick, I'm going to dive out to our Aging Division webpage again, or where we have the WSSB information located. From that main page, you'll see the quarterly invoice tab available, and again, a link for you to download the quarterly invoice document. Now, this document's a little bit more flexible. You don't have to save a running copy of this document each quarter as you fill it out. In fact, that's probably not the preference. You can download it each quarter when you're ready to complete it. This document, if you're involved with other Aging Division programs, should look very familiar. It's very much the same as our other Title III Older Americans Act program invoices that we request. Much the same. This invoice will detail exactly which project you're invoicing for, allow you to enter your organization's name, the specific quarter at which you're invoicing for services. You'll have the choices here to select from either of the 4 quarters that you intend to report on and the exact year you're reporting in. From there, this invoice has a place for you to document the amount of basic grant funds and formula grant funds that you received in a previous period. These sections are not required, but are made available to you in case you have a purpose to use them. The Aging Division and the WSSB, we know what we've paid you out in previous quarters, and this information isn't as important to us as it might be to your organization. So feel free to use this section as needed for your organization. From there, we have the section broken out for expenditures for your organization, which you can detail each quarter how much of the basic award that you've spent in each of the 5 categories, as well as how much of the formula funds you've utilized from each of the 5 categories in that program period. These totals that go in this box should reflect the same totals that you've entered in the categories in the previous spreadsheet. For instance, your personnel total in this document and in the first quarter should match the personnel total in this box of the invoice submitted to WSSB. Let me just show you. So if we have 30,000 of personnel, it's all going to total here, and that then is reflected in this quarter. It says basically your budget amount is 30,000 for personnel. The board doesn't want to see 15,000 of expenses in this category because it shows up with a negative number because we didn't budget anything for travel. This is another good example of where it's important to have good communication throughout the year, in the beginning of preparing your grant application to expending these funds on a regular basis. Having that communication within your organization, whether it's with the different programs that are associated with that utilize these funds, be it kitchen staff and their utilization of funds, be it your transportation staff or your other support staff utilizing these funds, to understand what their needs are, and then also working closely with your organization's bookkeeper or accountant so that they understand where your needs lie. It's important here not to under budget or over budget by too much what your organization's needs will be throughout the year. And having that open communication within your organization will benefit you as you work to complete these documents as well. So after you've had a chance to transpose the information from your quarterly document to this invoice document, these totals will sum up and provide an invoice total here in this box. These This total will then reflect the amount of award that either you have utilized in total or the amount that you are able to claim then against your award amount from the state. Here at the Aging Division, we utilize that total to help us calculate how much will be paid out in any given quarter, and will ultimately be the amount that is submitted to the State Auditor's Office for payment. This document also requires a signature not only from the director but from a member of your organization's board, be it the board president or another signing authority from that board. Once you've completed that information and collected the appropriate signatures, you will send this document along with your supporting profit and loss to your organization's board representative. And again, if you don't know who your board representative is, you can check back to your grant application document. On that very first page, you should be able to find your organization in this list and determine who that document is to be sent to. That board member will then review your information and submit it for approval to the board at that quarter's board meeting. And from there, once these documents are approved, they'll be passed along to the Aging Division to complete that payment process for your organization.